Here's a video of a Hamas official, actually, trying to defend his taking of the hostages, and it's funny. It gets really funny
Of course.
because of the level of like how he jumps back and forth so often. Like, just check it out. The in one clip he manages to contradict himself like 3 times.
Was it wrong of your forces to kidnap children and women?
Again, I think the clear instructions from brother late Muhammad Daif was clear. We are only targeting militant members of the Israeli forces.
Okay, so you're admitting that women and children should not have been taken hostage on that day.
Sure.
Now you have,
except,
but the fact of the matter is that
except militant members of the Israeli forces.
But now you have women and children in your captivity. Why don't you just release them as a goodwill gesture towards these?
We have said it many times from day one after October 7th that we are ready if we can secure a pause or a ceasefire agreement to be able to release. Therefore, on November 2023...
But what you're saying is you're not doing it unconditionally. You want something in return. I'm saying,
no.
If you say that women and children should not have been kidnapped, why don't you just release them unconditionally without asking for anything?
No,
because
again,
you admit it was
in
wrong.
November 2023, we have said it many times. We are ready to release them, all of them, unconditionally if we are sure about the security conditions and to have...
You heard what he said there? We are ready to release them. Sorry, we are ready to release them unconditionally, on condition that Israel goes ahead and make sure that we're never going to go in again, and make sure that the war is over. In addition to the fact that, I mean, a lot of people should know this. Israel has an automatic draft policy. So when he says Israeli militant forces, he's just talking about civilians, because everybody has to serve. So it's not like these people are like trying to kill Hamas members and thinking about from their birth that they have to destroy. Like, okay, a lot of them are interested in that, but at the end of the day, they grow up in Israel, they have to serve, regardless of what their ideology is and what they believe about Hamas. And so this idea that he's taking hostage Israeli militant forces is just, it's everyone in Israel. So you're taking civilians.
And by his logic, it's also
not even in armed gear at all. Yes. What were you going to say?
By his logic, it's also the little babies who are eventually going to grow up to perhaps go into the army. So by that logic, they can justify anything.
Exactly. And I think there's like 15 seconds left. And the funniest thing is, this is a Qatari network. So this isn't even like somebody that's trying to get him or trying to sort of, brand Hamas as a terrorist organization. This is a guy that's trying to work with him and trying to be like, well, why don't you just release them? And he's obviously, he can't say that. Again, he can't say that he could release it because, again, he'll be ostracized from his group.
Have a ceasefire agreement for a while to be able to look after them, because they are in different areas with different groups, attacked on a day, on 24 hours by the Israelis. Therefore, we are ready to go for this step if the Israelis are ready to secure a ceasefire agreement or a pause.
So again, on condition, but let me go back. There's like one point where you'll just see it. She should not have been kidnapped. Here we go. This is like where you'll see the contradiction.
Not have been kidnapped. Why don't you just release them unconditionally without asking for anything? Because
again,
you admit it was wrong.
In November 2023, we have said it many times. We are ready to release them, all of them, unconditionally if we are sure about the security conditions and to have a...
Again, we are ready to release them unconditionally if we are sure about the security conditions.
You know what's the best way to achieve a ceasefire? Not starting the attack in the first place. That's you can have a ceasefire before the started.
Yeah, they definitely moved their goalposts. I mean, the day after, I think October 7th, the guy was like, I think the same guy or maybe a different guy was like, yeah, we're going and we're going to commit a bunch of October 7th. Like a few days later, they're like, ceasefire now. So it's
in their charter also.
Yeah.
Probably just make a video just highlighting like certain parts of their charter. I think not many people have gone through Reddit, but like I actually read it, and there's certain parts just like literally says Jews, Israelis, we gotta let them get them out of here through whatever means possible. So, anyone who hasn't read the charter, it might be a worthwhile thing just to skim through it.
Yeah, this is like it. They're so they're it's like Douglas Murray said. You know, they're worse than Nazis in the sense that Nazis would never go up and say, we're literally killing Jews like en masse and we're trying to do it and it's purposeful and all this other stuff. They would try to justify with some kind of moral workaround and say, oh, the Jews are this, the Jews are that, and therefore we had to do this and that. And they never really showed obviously they never really showed their crimes, in public. They live streamed it. They wanted it to happen. They wanted the world to see it. I think the terrorists are far worse than Nazis in many respects.